A sad but heartwarming scene to end the UAE Tour opening stage today. The two Astana riders crossing the line on the same bike. The opening sprint stage, it's a new stage, but the UAE Tour's got Cavendish here, Merlier, Jakobsen, Welsford, Groves, Gaviria, you name it, every sprinter is here except for Jasper Philipsen. And in terms of GC, the big favourite is UAE's Adam Yates after winning Tour of Oman. There's also Ben O'Connor here and Peo Bilbao, but Yates is the big favourite, supported by McNulty and Vine. But yeah, this opening stage, they went south, 141 Ks. It's a sprint stage, although they go into like a sand dune hilly area where I didn't know if there was a prospect of crosswinds or whether the sand dunes block the wind. Welsford, after the Tour Down Under, he and his Bora train looked the overall best lead-out package. But two Corotec riders in the break, Stewart and Morgano, they were controlled pretty well by, pretty much every team here wants a sprint except for EF Education First. So the chance of the breakaway winning, I guess, not zero, because breakaway won with the Gazprom riders in 2021, I think. But with no crosswinds and two riders in the breakaway, it wasn't happening. So really, Bora, yeah, they put Bookman on the front to control, as well as Quickstep, I think, put a rider maybe as well. But there were bonus seconds on offer at the intermediate sprint. Peo Bilbao actually jumped across and nabbed a couple of them, and Lo Van Bell took one to go into the young riders jersey. But still, the sprinters teams and the sprinters were chilling. It's one of these classic stages where they do 100, 150 watts all day, and then the last 5 kilometers on big roads are absolutely chaotic at high speed, notwithstanding Thomas de Gent trying something that didn't really go anywhere. But as you can see, even at 10Ks to go, they're not flat out at this point. The breakaway's been caught. There's no real wind. It's not that technical at the moment. There's a couple of big high-speed roundabouts. So you see Intermarché sprinting against DSM and Decathlon Ajazer to be first through that roundabout. But even up to 5Ks to go, it was mainly the GC teams outside of UAE, like Decathlon Ajazer. Yeah, they're going for Bennett here, but they've also got Ben O'Connor for GC. Ineos, I presume, moving Foss up or protecting him for GC. UAE moving up Milano, who's their sprinter. But Bora, DSM, Quickstep, Alpecin, you can barely see them in the picture. The few leadouts they do have are deeper at the bottom of this screenshot. So really, everyone, like all the big sprinters teams that brought a proper lead out here, were all thinking, let's move up late. Because the roads are so wide, why don't we move up late? And that's what Bora did here. And it becomes this huge rush where the speed changes massively. Bora move up on the left-hand side with Gamper and Massieu, but that comes at a cost. You burn through those riders really fast. They're not doing like a smooth 7K to 5K pull. They're doing a sprint effort basically. And here, Massiuk and Gamper are cooked already. 2.2 Ks to go. Tosh van der Sande for Visma Lease bike. He's leading out Coy, who's number 181. You got Mullen, Van Poppel, Welsford. They're the lead out that a lot of teams wanted to be on in this stage. And Gamper and Massiuk, as I said, are kind of cooked, but it's 2 Ks to go. And Mullen normally hits the front much later than that. This is not when he wants to hit the front. So after Van der Sande kind of dangles ahead of them, Mullen looks to, I think, Gamper to move back up. But the problem is they lose a lot of speed. He's cooked, and they get washed over. So that was, Bora had problems today. It wasn't as good as in the TDU. Bahrain, they've got basically Nicky Hassan as a pilot for Bauhaus, trying to keep him in good position. He looking for him. He comes across the right-hand side. Groves is on the Alpecin, which looks like their kit is a Quickstep kit that got put through the wash on too high a heat and got washed out. They're in the middle with two riders. Decathlon Ajazer actually did a really good job, I would say, for a first crack in a World Tour race of this caliber. With this is the Sprinters World Championships just about. But when Arndt, I think it is, opens up, he's got Bauhaus fourth wheel. Welsford is detached from his lead out. You'll see it better in the overhead, and predictably, too many riders, even in a wide road, creates problems and riders do get boxed in. Merlier goes to the right-hand side, follows that decathlon lead out that Bennett couldn't follow, and then it's Milano who actually jumps first. We thought it looked like Gaviria jumped first, but actually he was on Milano's wheel. American flag flying with on the left-hand side. Big crash as well, unfortunately, with riders going down hard, and Merlier comes out of their wheel, the Colombians, and wins handily. Arva declines second, Mareshko third. Here's that overhead. Welsford boxed into the right-hand side. His lead out of Mullen Van Poppel goes left with Coy on their wheel, and basically everyone that goes left gets a bad result. Everyone that was deeper and goes right gets a good result. It is pretty much how this sprint ended up working, whether that was because Van Poppel couldn't do the high-speed lead-out that he would expect. But yeah, Merlier slid really fast up onto that Age Desert lead-out. Of these riders on the right-hand side, you've got first, second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh, or maybe even fourth, and Welsford comes fifth and Bauhaus like ninth or something on the left-hand side is the best result. So the right side is the fastest side when it opened up, and then when Milano launched to the right, you just see Merlier get into that big gear, finally get up to speed, get into their draft, and for some reason the helicopter crops in really, really close, but we see Merlier just destroy everybody. So Gaviria could have got a better result, maybe top three if he stayed in Milano's wheel for longer, but I don't think he was going to be able to win anyway, launching from that far out. In terms of the crash, it looks like Mullen's coming back after finishing his lead out, and then an Intermarché rider and I think Van der Poel, a lot of Destiny rider, are bumping shoulders, fighting for Welsford's wheel, and I think it's Bennett, I'm not entirely sure, rider in white on the barriers, then comes across, and he moves those two even further right, and basically that domino effect causes Van der Poel to chop Mullen. He goes down, and then Astana, Fretin, and yeah, there's a mass pile-up. I think Volta goes down hard, and Ineos rider goes down hard, and then Gazzoli brings Tejada across the line on his bike. I'm not sure exactly why, because I presume the bike wasn't working, or I know Tejada was banged up, but also the rules say that you don't have to do this. Luke, our producer, brought out the rule that if you crash, you can just start the next day because of the 3-kilometer rule. But anyway, here's the top 10 results. There's more than 10 good sprinters here. Merlier wins ahead of Decline, Mareshko, Jacobsen, Welsford, Gaviria, Milano, Consoni, Bauhaus, Jana, Van der Poel, rounding out the top 10. Here's what Merlier had to say after the stage.
A win is always nice, and I'm happy this year I have a picture. I make the decision to go the other side with, I think, 500 minutes to go, and yeah, I think I did make the good decision there to go alone.
Hope you enjoyed the video. TT tomorrow at 12Ks. No Ganna, Bissiger, Kung, Van Aert here, so a good opportunity for someone like Mikael Bjerg or Remy Cavagna to win a World Tour level TT. I'll be back with a recap of that tomorrow. Till then, ciao.